Karen Ahmed. Welcome back to my channel. The weather outside is simply amazing, and in the summertime, I like to take my exercise outdoors. On the weekends, I usually walk with some of my friends. It makes it fun and exciting, and we get our exercise in as well. Today, I decided to make some Vietnamese spring rolls to take over to my friend's house after the walk. We're going to enjoy this as a snack. These spring rolls are absolutely delicious. They're gluten-free and they're packed with flavor. In this version, I'm going to make the spring rolls with smoked salmon, and this is an absolute no-cook recipe. Before I go any further with this recipe, please make sure you subscribe to my channel. I upload a ton of videos every week, and also ring the bell, that's YouTube's bell icon, that will notify you every time I upload a new video. Now, let's get rolling. These spring rolls are made using these amazing rice paper wraps. They come in a few sizes, and you can choose to make these whatever size you wish. The first thing I'm going to do is prepare the dipping sauce. This is also going to double up as a marinade as well. I've got 3 limes here, and I'm just going to squeeze all of the juice out of it. For these 3 limes, this should yield about half a cup. To balance that tartness, I'm going to add 3 tablespoons of fish sauce. I'm just going to give this a little taste before adding another 2 tablespoons. And finally, I've got some red curry paste here. Usually I make my own, but if I don't have a batch handy, the store-bought version is amazing as well. I'm going to add 1 teaspoon first, and I'm just going to taste it. Tastes good, so I'm going to add another teaspoon. It's really important to taste, especially when you buy a store-bought product, as the taste differs by brand. This is an amazing dipping sauce. The tart lime is the star, and the curry paste and the fish sauce just helps to mellow this out. This also makes a great dressing. Finally, I'm going to add 1 teaspoon of finely chopped coriander. If you plan to make this ahead, only add the coriander in at the last minute, as it tends to wilt and discolor in time. Next, I'm going to prepare my bean noodles. This comes in a bag, and I'm going to use roughly half of this. This weighs 6 ounces, that's roughly about 165 grams. And to prepare this, I'm going to immerse the noodles in some hot water for a few minutes. And then I'm going to drain it. It's important for these noodles to be quite dry, as it's going to be used inside the roll. Using a scissors, I'm just going to roughly cut this, and it's going to make it a lot easier to separate later. I'm going to place the noodles in a bowl, and this can be pretty bland, so I'm going to flavor this with 4 tablespoons of the dipping sauce. And I'm going to allow the noodles to soak this in. Next, I'm going to work on the cucumber. I'm using the straightest cucumber I can find. I choose to use the smaller rice paper wrap today, and it's about 15 centimeters in diameter. So I'm just going to cut the tips of the cucumber off, and I'm going to measure about 9 centimeters, and I'm going to cut it. I'm going to use the first piece as a measure, and I'm going to cut again. Next, I'm going to slice these in half. Now this is totally optional. Using a melon baller or a small scoop-shaped object, I'm just going to scoop out the seeds. Here's why I do this. As the cucumber sits inside the wrapper, the centers leach out a lot of moisture. If you have leftovers, they can tend to soften and tear the wrapper. Now that the seeds and the pulp is all scooped out, I'm going to slice this into sticks. I have some coriander leaves here, some spinach, and also a combination of fresh mint from my garden and Thai basil. This is the purple variety that has a slight licorice taste. If you can't find Thai basil, regular sweet basil will also work. You can also use any other combinations of herbs as you like. At this time of year, my garden is bursting with flavor, and I also love to try other combinations. I'm just going to take the leaves off the Thai basil and the mint to make the assembly of these rolls easy later. With all my ingredients prepped and ready, it's time to start rolling. I like to place a chopping board down as my base, and I'm going to cover this with an absorbent towel. I'm also going to lay a tea towel over that, and I'm going to have a roll of kitchen towel handy. Next, I have a dish that's large enough to fit my wrappers, and this is filled with room temperature water. Here are the bean noodles we prepared earlier. The herbs, the coriander, mint and Thai basil, spinach, the cucumber sticks. I've also got some gorgeous smoked salmon, and finally the rice paper wraps. If you've never used these before, take a good look. These are semi-transparent, and it does take a little bit of practice to know exactly when to pull them out of the water, but it's really easy to use. I'm going to start with one for now. I'm just going to immerse it in the water, and I'm going to give it about 30 seconds or so to soften up. You have to get it out just when the whole sheet is soft, but don't leave it in for too long or it could get too soft and tear. I'm going to place this on my tea towel, and I'm going to dab the front lightly with a sheet of kitchen towel. I'm not going to give you exact measurements of the filling for this recipe as it's highly customizable. It also depends on the size of the wrapper that you choose and how thick you would like your roll. My philosophy for the filling is simple. I like to keep the driest ingredients on the outside and the salmon and the cucumber in the center. I'm going to start with some spinach, a slice of salmon, some cucumber sticks, coriander, a small amount of the bean noodles, and I'm going to finish this off with some Thai basil and mint leaves. This wrapper is sticky and also delicate, so gently roll this over the top. I like to roll it all the way to the bottom so it makes contact with the wrapper at the bottom of the filling, and then I like to seal the sides before rolling this over. To store this, I'm going to place it on a sheet of parchment paper to prevent sticking and tearing, and I'm also going to cover this with another sheet of parchment paper to keep the rolls from drying out. Typically, I work with 2 or more sheets at a time, and I'm just going to move these papers out of the way, and I'm going to soak my sheets. These rolls are pretty stuffed as I'm making a few for my lunch tomorrow, but then I'm going to make thinner ones that I'm going to take over for an après workout snack. Up, I'm also going to make some, starting with the herbs and finishing off with the spinach. walk, we worked up quite an appetite, and we enjoyed these rolls over a few laps. These rolls are no cook, they're quick to prepare, and they're amazing with that delicious dipping sauce. Thank you so much for joining me on Cravings Food Adventures. I hope you enjoyed this delicious recipe for Vietnamese spring rolls. They are fresh and delicious, and they are made even more tasty with that amazing dipping sauce. Please make sure you subscribe to my channel, guys. You share my channel and my videos with your family and friends. Also, ring the bell, that's YouTube's new bell icon. That will notify you every time I upload a new video. And if you love this video, leave me a comment. I really love to hear from you. Make sure you're also following me on all of my social channels. I'm on Facebook, Instagram, Pinterest, Twitter, and even Snapchat. Till I see you next time, take care. Bye.